Like and share, like and share. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. It's a pleasure to have y'all.
Thank you for tuning in. Like and share, like and share, like and share, share. It's your girl Sunshine with my partner Ron. We are here to talk to our friend. It is only
My
one
favorite
day
time of the week.
Black History Month, but we celebrate it not just this month, but we celebrate it every day. Here at the Speaky, we are always putting out something positive, something about an African American who paved the way for us. But since it is Black History Month, we celebrate it as always, but we also bring on our fellow brothers and sisters. So tonight we have Narvell on and um your partner,
I'm sorry, my name is Blaine. It says B Brown.
Blaine.
Yeah, I'm Blaine.
Okay. So you guys introduce yourselves and tell us about the business and how you guys got into it.
You want me to go first, B, or you want to go first?
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Well, OYAB, obviously Young and Brilliant, was created. The acronym was created by me from a trip in Chicago that I took with a couple of friends, and the idea stemmed from that. That was in 2009. Me and Blaine, we went to college together at Post University, teammates and everything like that, and we've been friends and brothers ever since. And when I brought the idea to him about what I wanted to do, by Blaine being in New York City, he had that New York City swag, that New York City flavor, that that OYAB needed. You know what I'm saying? And and we think alike along the terms of design work. We have a couple, not road bumps or anything like that, but we have a couple of differences on certain designs, and we come to a conclusion on what works best for us and what doesn't work for us and stuff like that. So that's me. I'm Narvell Benning from Buffalo, New York.
Okay. Go ahead, Blaine. Let us know. So you from NYC?
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay,
So
I'm Long Island, baby. So I know about that swag and that
It's
flavor.
Brooklyn in the house.
always, right? Yeah, I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and like Narvell said, we met at Post University. We actually played basketball together, so that's how we kind of, first established our relationship. And then, he graduated ahead of me, and then when I graduated, and then it was like years later, that he came to me and he mentioned OYAB, and my mind kind of just took off with a whole lot of like ideas that just were lined up with what what his vision was. And
Okay.
so from that point on, like he said, we kind of just we started collaborating. We started pushing out merchandise, and if I'm not mistaken, we started with a blog. And so what we would do on the blog is we would kind of just find like different people in different scenarios to highlight that pretty much had that same tone as Speakeasy has with positivity and black, right? So
1000%.
you know what I mean? So we did the blog for a little while, and then we progressed into the merchandise, and we just tried to kind of try to piggyback everything off of the thing right in front of it. And so I think we've had pretty good success, like any business with people trying to start up and trying to make things happen. Obviously you hit the bumps, you figure it out, you keep it moving. I think the one thing though that is like I mean, we may disagree on the designs, but then we usually figure it out pretty easily. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, like that's always the cool part. is that you know, me and V, we always kick it together, and you know, we try to make things happen. You know, and the book was just that was like a whole new lane, and so it was like I was very pleased with that. You know what I mean? I was very pleased with that. That was like that started something new, and you know, I don't think it's a lot of brands that like come out with a book and a mixtape. Actually, we had 2 mixtapes. If I'm not mistaken, we had 2 mixtapes.
Wow.
We weren't rapping or singing or anything on them, but it was just a gang of artists that, you know, were young, hungry. I'm not gonna say young was a requirement, but they were hungry. You know what I mean? And they liked what the movement stood for, and they put their work into it, and we appreciated that.
So first break down the meaning by OYAB, and where'd you get the meaning, and how did you come up with that first? And then we'll talk about the mixtape and the book. We're gonna hit all that.
All right. All right. 2009 in Chicago, we went to the Taste of Chicago with a few other friends of mine, not associates of Blaine or anything. And we were down there, and it was a term that we technically always use on the basketball court. I ain't gonna tell you what it meant, you know what I'm saying? But it was OYAB on the basketball court. So, you know, when we was in Chicago, we came up with the idea. I was like, man, you know what? We should start a T-shirt line. And, you know, the friends at the time that I was with agreed on it. And so I flew back from Chicago. This was in 2009, and flew back to Buffalo, New York. Was sitting in my home office at the time. It was like probably 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And I said, I got it. Obviously young and brilliant. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow. So I text one of my friends at the time, you know, what it was. And he was like, whoa. I was like, yo, that's major. So from that standpoint, you know, that's how OYAB was created, the acronym, and
okay.
the meaning behind the actual acronym.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And now the mixtape, when was that done? What year? Who's on it?
Okay, so it's various artists. It's all positive music. It's almost, I look at it like this. You know, Nas is my favorite artist, and he made Illmatic. You know, he made Illmatic, and I look at our first original OYAB mix. It's called the Soundtrack to Brilliance. So I look at that as my Illmatic, right? But I didn't partake in the music. I just gathered a couple people I knew, and then DJ Marv out of Charlotte. He's originally from New York. Me and him ended up going to high school together. My freshman year of high school, we played basketball together. So he reached out to me. He said, yo, you ever think about doing a mixtape? And I was like, with me rapping? He was like, no. He was like, I got some artists that I think would be perfect for it. It featured my, a few friends of mine, cousins, a lot of artists that wrote for big names that's in the industry. It featured my son who passed away in February. He was a producer on the album, and it's a beautiful soundtrack, and it's how we are in the times right now. You know, it's current. You know what they were saying in the actual soundtrack. It's actually current to what's going on right now and what's been going on in this world. You know.
First, I want to give my condolences on your son, and I don't know the situation, but my heart goes out to you, because no parent should have to bury their child. So
I appreciate it.
I don't know what you're going through, but I know loss as well. But I do, my heart goes out to you and your wife. Now the soundtrack. Do you still keep in touch with them? What's going on with that? Are you going to do another one?
We actually got 2 of them. The Soundtrack to Brilliance, I believe, is still on DatPiff. It's still on datpiff.com.
I was going to ask, can we go find it?
Yeah. Part 2, I gotta get with DJ Marv, and I know I got a hard copy, but it's out. Actually, it's out on the internet. I just got to figure out where exactly it is. And I'll get that, and I'll push that out to y'all so y'all can hear it. But it's amazing music, to be honest with you.
Is it on iTunes, or you're not sure where it's at? Because who put it out?
Yeah, it was put out in 2014. I know it's not on iTunes. I know it's on datpiff.com. I know it's on datpiff.com. You can
Yeah,
download it.
Definitely let us know. We'll put it on our site for real. Now,
Definitely.
I'm gonna dig through my email because I think that's originally where I got it from you. I
Oh,
think
from the email?
when you sent it to me originally, I think it might have been an email, like an email file or something.
Okay.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check because obviously the computer I had it on crashed, and nobody uses
Gotcha.
CDs anymore, so I don't know. I couldn't find the CD right now if I look.
Would you say the title?
I still
What'd you
use
say
a
the title of it
CD.
was
I
again?
have my CD collection. I will bump it in the car. I make sure my car's always got a CD, and I don't care how new it is. I make sure it gets a CD because we old
Right.
school, baby. This
Right.
new music, I'm still. Why should I have to buy it when I got the CD in the Rolodex? Man,
Right.
listen.
They are giving out sound card chips with people's album on it, where you can go in and just scan it nowadays. Sunshine, you don't have to
Man,
have the CD.
technology, that's crazy.
What'd you say your album was?
I'm just catching up on how to do Zoom. Okay. I'm the legal person. I don't be doing this electronic stuff. Ron be like, sunshine. I'm like, I know, you just gotta bear with me. Keep talking. I'm
All
like,
right, I'm on that pill.
Yeah, it's
I'm
called.
on
It should be. It's
bring it up.
the soundtrack to brilliance. That should come up under that.
All right, let me see if I can get that in there to our followers.
Now, is it linked with your clothing line, or how did you guys do this with the DJ?
Well, like I was saying, the DJ Marvo, he's out of Charlotte right now, and when he came to me with the idea. Now it stemmed from the idea of it was an incident that went on that happened to me in Buffalo in 2014. A lot of people may know about it. It's all on YouTube and stuff, where a lot of racist slurs and everything like that was hurled at me. You know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
and it kind of went national. So from that, my friend Marv, DJ Marvo, he was like, man, we should put out a CD, a mixtape. And then I listened to why the direction of why he want to do it. I was like, me rapping, and he was like, nah. And I was like, I don't really know. He was like, man, trust me, it's gonna be official. So we ended up putting it out, and it's like got a spoken word poetry at the beginning called Obviously Young and Brilliant. She did her thing on it. I always mess her name of it. Blank. What's her first name, man? I always forget her first name.
Her name is Camilla, but her tag on IG is Poetic Elise. She actually she has a book or two out as well. But she was phenomenal.
Man, yes, she was. She really was on that.
I love spoken words because I do that. So that's why you definitely inbox me on IG her info, and I'll look her up and I'll tag her, because then I'll get her on.
Got you.
You already know. So with the DJ, do you keep in touch with him? Yeah,
actually, he just inboxed me yesterday because he putting out another mixtape. He always be sending me stuff that he putting out. You know what I mean? And it's pretty cool. We stay in contact. We stay in contact enough.
Inbox me his info too.
Got you. Yep, I got you.
Look, Fridays, you already know, it's Hip Hop Fridays. And for who don't know, we bring on different artists on Fridays. We do music, we do poetry, we do, what else we do, Ron? Singing, we do rap, we do it all, right, Ron? Hip Hop Friday.
Let's talk about it.
We have DJ Chill Will coming on next Friday. And Friday, we got Low Game Budget. So we love, I'm a music hip hop lover through and through. So now moving along, and if you don't want to touch on what happened in 2014, because I had no idea, but I can say Buffalo is very racist. I've experienced some of that myself. So trust me, I know.
Right.
And I want to move out of Buffalo, but my children don't. So I'm stuck up here. With that, after the music, what made you do the book? And who came up with the idea for the book? And who came up with the collaboration, the book cover? Let's go. Tell us all about it.
Here we go. All right. So when we was in Buffalo, New York, I live in Texas now, by the way. I'm pretty much sure everybody know that.
Nice and warm there.
Nice and warm. Nice
It's
and warm.
cold here.
Yeah, I heard.
Well,
It's
Ron
snowing
been
out.
Texas. Ron, where you at again?
Yeah, I'm up by Lubbock.
Oh, Lubbock. How far is that from us?
Lubbock is
5 hours.
3 or 4 hours.
Is that where Nikki from?
That's where Nikki.
So it's like we near Fort Hood, the Army base.
Oh, okay, yeah, down by Dallas.
No. Killeen. It's way before that. We're an hour away from Austin.
Oh,
Okay.
I've been to Austin. That's nice.
Yeah, Austin is official. So yeah, it is. It really is.
I love to eat.
It really is. So get into the get into the book. Oh man. Listen, I'll say this. When I was talking to my wife about this, was it yesterday? About the food from Buffalo, she, we know Buffalo got great food. We know that. And it's different. Texas food, you got the barbecue, Austin got a variety of everything.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
They do.
Yep, a lot of you're right, a lot of mom and pop restaurants. Yep.
Yeah, Buffalo. No, thank God I could cook. I got my father's side is from the South, so I got the Southern, and my mother is Italian and African American, so I got the mixture. So thank God I learned how to cook from a young age, because Buffalo ain't got.
Listen, from what we used to eat in Buffalo, Texas. Yeah, Texas can't touch that part of Buffalo, but it was technically, if you really think about it, we was eating the food that wasn't good for us anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, we love soul food, don't get me wrong, but it ain't good for us. It ain't.
That was going to be one of my questions. Now that you just said that, talking about food that's not good that's not good for you, what you eat, because I did do some snooping. You kind of changed up your eating lifestyle, didn't you?
Man, it'll be 2 years in March. No meat.
Vegan, right?
No meat. No, not vegan. Not vegan. I still eat seafood.
Okay.
So no pork. I haven't ate pork since 1999. No beef. No turkey. No chicken. All of that. So that'd be 2 years for the meat part on it, and then 2 years. Actually, in January, it was 2 years I stopped actually drinking alcohol. I see you got the Malibu and the Crown in the background.
I was gonna say, I'm right there with you with cutting out all the meat. That's my next step, the alcohol. Yeah. I'm coming.
Yeah. Alcohol should have been first for you, Ron.
So what made you want to change up your lifestyle like that, and why you think it's so important for our people? Of course, because we all love soul food.
Honestly, it boils down to, like, the stuff that we ate growing up, the seasoning that we put in our food, how we fry our food, the type of vegetable oil, Crisco, whatever you name it, we use to fry our food. And that stuff, it causes like blockage in our system. And I think heart disease is the number one killer of us, and we have to, I'm not going to I ain't going to preach on it, but for me, I needed to change because, weight purposes, me feeling sluggish, me just not feeling like myself. You know what I mean? Like, I would get up eating meat and my body would just be like, oh man, do I want to get up? I don't feel like getting up. But now, like, I pop up. My alarm go off, I get up and I'm ready to rock and roll. And that helped me like a lot because, and I'm starting to really transition my family into it because, slowly, because, once you're used to eating a certain way, you like to eat that way. So changing that lifestyle, like my son, my Narvell Jr., he a month in and he's going vegan, and that he do it for other reasons, but he a month in. My other son, he still likes to eat meat, but I do it sparingly, on what I cook for them and how I cook, and I make sure that I use the right seasoning, like pink Himalayan sea salt, certain seasoning that is not going to affect us internally, that causes like all the ailments that we have, you know. So that was a major
Oh,
thing.
man.
Stuff.
Yeah,
People don't like to hear that.
I use like the olive oil butter, and I changed that up too. My mother's a registered nurse, but when my children's father got a report from the doctor saying he had high cholesterol and borderline this and borderline that, I was like, okay, time to switch up.
Yep.
So the coconut thing, I use that instead of butter sometimes to
Oh, the
add the
coconut
flavor,
oil?
but it's all natural. That I have a picture. I have it. I can take a picture and post it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have to, because one, the first thing that kills us is the fried chicken, the porks, the slother, and all that. So my
Yep.
kids were so tired of. They was like, if I have one more thing of turkey or whatever, but fish, seafood is good for you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? As long as you're not frying everything and you're baking stuff and everything. 1 month I had nothing but chicken and ground turkey meat. Like, I try not to even use beef. I don't use beef meat. I use ground turkey meat. We don't. We do only thing I'm guilty of is bacon. We do turkey bacon, but I need some pork bacon at times. I just got to.
Hey.
But I start my morning off with a tea, chai tea to clean your system out, and it's cold. Buffalo. And
Mm-hmm.
then I do a smoothie. Like, hey, gotta switch it up. And yeah, I don't use a lot of seasoning salt because my mom, she has high blood pressure and all that, and heart
Yeah.
issue. So I know what you mean.
And then, another thing too is the stuff that they putting in the actual meat. They put everything, these steroids they putting in, these chemicals they putting in, the dyes that they're putting in, and all this stuff that, it's not good for our bodies. It's not good for our bodies, and that was another big reason too.
Now, what about this book?
Yeah, let's get back into the book. Let me read the biopic for it because
And
I
it's
love
also
it.
good
Like I
to
said,
talk about the health. So we always have to reach out to our
yeah,
African.
we had to get it in real quick.
Yep, I'm with
So
it.
this is what you got on Amazon. I'm gonna post a link for our loyals. It says the adventure begins for Narvell as he digs his way to certain places of the world with the help of the golden shovel. He can see the Great Wall of China, visit the Taj Mahal, and be in the presence of the Great Pyramids of Giza. Not knowing how powerful his mind is just yet, Narvell lets the shovel do all the work for him. He learns about different cultures and meets some cool kids along his journey. While interacting with them, he notices certain clues with the shirts they all are wearing and how it connects to each of their names. As excited as he is, Narvell knows he must continue to explore, but realizes he must head back to his great grandparents' home before it gets dark. Come take a journey with Narvell around the world as he understands that he and kids he meets are truly, obviously, young and brilliant. That's deep. I get a lot of that. Break down this book for us, man.
All right, so here we go. So when we was in before we moved to Texas, and we was in Buffalo, New York, and my son Narvell, he's about to be 16 now. So I believe he was around maybe 8 when we took a picture. He had a shovel. It's a green shovel that we used to take to the beach, and he used to use it, for the sand like the kids do. He said, "Dad, can you paint this for me? Paint this shovel for me gold." So I was like, "Yeah." So I took the shovel and put it in the grass, put a blanket out, and spray painted it gold. So after it dried and everything, he took the shovel and held it up in the air like this and looked. So and he stood there, right? And I was like, so I took my phone out. He didn't even see me take the picture. I took my phone out and was like, snapped it. So the picture that you see of him standing up, that was a picture I took that picture, and it immediately gave me the idea. I was like, the kid with the golden shovel. So I didn't write the book until 2018. I was sitting on the thought of it, and then I end up writing it, getting thoughts together in 2016, 2017, and then it was published in November 2018. So the pictures in the book is actually from my old neighborhood. So where he went to dig in the sandbox. that was a park called Westminster. We used to call it Westies. I used to play basketball there at the community center and everything like that. So the great grandparents is my actual grandparents, which he wasn't even alive during that time. It's just almost it was perfect for the actual storyline. So on that journey, man, it was just it's an amazing journey for him. You know, part 2 coming real soon. It should have been out already, but it's coming real soon. And we got a few books coming. You know, my partner Blaine got one coming, and the good thing about it, man, is it shows us on the cover. You know, growing up, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, as I always do. Growing up, you know, seeing like, you know, magazine covers, the books that we had, the dolls that our kids played with, it was no one that looked like us. You know what I mean? It was no one that looked like us. And I'm like, you know, it didn't hit me then because I was in the moment being a kid playing with it. Yeah. Now it hit me now, and I'm like, man, you know what? Why isn't it more books or dolls or certain aspects of the media or press that showcase us, you know? And I said, you know what? We need to be on that front cover if our kids are actually reading something. And it's okay. And if you read the book, the diverse nature of the book is amazing. To me, it's amazing. I may be a little bit biased, but you know, he meets people from Africa. He meets people from China. He meets people from India, Barcelona, Spain. Like, he meets those people, and they don't look like him. You know, and that's the cool thing. It's having your imagination, and we all like grew up. You know, and I know y'all probably heard the stories as well. It's like, hey, if you dig deep enough, you're gonna get where? To probably China. You know, exactly. and you know, you dig, you're gonna get there. You keep digging, you're gonna get to China. Yeah. Right. You know, and that's actually the first stop he made. It was China, you know, and it's a cool concept, you know, and you know, I give all praises to my son for actually giving me the idea to write that without him even knowing he gave me that idea.
That's awesome. I love
That's beautiful.
Now, have you visited any of these places that's in the book?
I didn't hear you, Nicole.
Have you been able to visit the places that's in the book?
Nope, that I haven't. Nope. I'm gonna go though.
Yeah, my sister went to China in 2000, I think. She went to China. And she was like, it's really different over there. It really is. But she was able to do the Great Wall of China, all that. I was like, I do want to go over there, but now with COVID and everything, I'm still traveling. I'm not letting COVID run my life. That's
right.
Because I love to tour, but that's good. What age group is that book for?
It's from ages from 5 to 11.
Okay, and who helped design? Who's the artist for the cover?
It's a artist from actually Pakistan. I can't pronounce his name, but he's from Pakistan. I linked up with him. You know, we connected. He took my idea and literally made it come to life. And I really didn't have to draw it out for him. You know how it was a back and forth situation. And he understood completely. What, you know, energy wise, to me, that's something amazing. Like, if you connect with a person energy wise, y'all be on that same wavelength, and they'll get what you're saying, and they can bring it to life from that standpoint. So I definitely applaud the digital designers and everything like that.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, where did
Blaine.
Blake. I was right. Okay.
Blaine.
I'm sorry, Blaine, because I keep seeing Brown down there, and I'm like, wait, I know it's a big. Now, when did you come in with the book?
So Narvell actually, he kind of snuck and wrote it. So he put it together. And then he just shot it to me, and I was like, yeah, hell yeah. I said, and I like the lane because I don't know if you've ever done like merch before, it's a lot of what color we're going to use, what sizes should we buy, right? And so now we found this book, and it was like a one size fits all for exactly who we were targeting. You know what I mean? So that was the dope part of it. So I've kind of put together the sequel, which focuses on the character Asha from the book.
Okay.
And so we don't necessarily have a definitive release date and time for it, but it's gonna happen really soon.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Now I know you said you two linked up in school.
College, yeah, in Connecticut, Waterbury, Connecticut.
Okay. And
Hmm.
then now since you're in New York, are you still in New York?
Still in New York.
You're in New York and you're in Houston, Texas. So how do you guys now work together? Like how do you guys come up with the clothing? Who does the clothing, and is it in your house or is it a facility? Like go ahead, tell us about it.
I'll go V. So when we started, um, we didn't really know much of how to do it. So I asked around, he asked around. We pretty much found a vendor. No, first we had a young boy who was actually my god brother, Justin. I said, look, man, I was allowing him to live with me for free at the time, and he's a graphic design artist. I said, listen, I need some I need some designs done. So that was kind of the trade off for him. He was kind of fresh out of college trying to put it together. So I felt like I was obligated to make sure that he could get on his way, without being under pressure. He could be in the city and do what he needed to do. So he put together a couple of designs for us. Actually, I think the design on Narvell's shirt he put together for us. Am I correct? Let me see.
Yep, the Dream On.
Yep, Dream On. He did that.
Yep.
He did that. That was maybe like 2013 or 2012,
2000,
right?
2000, yeah, either 2012, because that's when we released the first tease in
Yeah,
2012. So it
somewhere
came,
around there.
yeah.
Yep. And so, we did that stuff. And then eventually you start realizing that, well, damn, we spend all this money. We got to go buy the shirts. Then we got to go pay the vendor to print the shirts up. How about we buy a heat press machine? Right.
Yeah.
And so, it was a lot of learning along the way. Just learning how to get that, that premium pricing to, be sure that we can put out the products that we want to. So we would get the designs done, and we've had, we worked with some other artists as well. I think majority of them may have been from Buffalo after our original designer, and then we just kept building from there. So we figured out the stuff, and we started creating. Then we I found out how to do socks and scullies and fitteds and snapbacks and what else?
Y'all do socks?
Yeah, we
That's
did. We do
dope,
socks,
man.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know the website's down right now, but tell them the website and how to get in touch with you guys to put in orders.
Well, it's only down because of the products being updated. So the website is iamoyab.com. So iamoyab.com. That's the actual website. Yep.
And now, what do you guys do as in giving back to the community?
I didn't hear you.
What do you guys do giving back to the community? Like, what do you guys do? Do you do fundraisers? Do you help out at the soup kitchen?
Yeah, let me go first, Blaine. I know Blaine does a cookout. I think it's every year, and he has a lot of OYB merchandise there. We do an actual fundraiser that we partner up with the barber here in Copper's Cove, which is a good friend of ours, and it's for suicidal prevention for soldiers, since we're close to the Army base and everything like that. So OYAB is going to be a part of that, actually sponsor it to help with suicide prevention with soldiers, because it's a lot of soldiers, and we notice it now that we're here next to the Army base. It's a lot of soldiers that commit suicide, that don't have the outlet to talk to people, that don't have the outlet to help, and they struggle with they struggle with mental health issues, and mental health is big, it's big.
I don't know if you heard it, my spoken word on Behind These Closed Doors.
I think you sent that one to me on Instagram.
I sent that one to you.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
have a lot of family and friends who was in the military,
Mm,
postpartum PTSD, all of that.
yep.
The simple fact is they break them to fit their way, but when it's
Correct.
time to leave, how do you
Correct.
reprogram them?
It's very difficult.
Right.
Exactly. And
Very
sometimes
difficult.
they don't even try to. But my thing is, you take them during boot camp and break them. They
They do.
break their mind psyche. They break them. Like, seriously. I've seen some, like you said, commit suicide. I've known people. And the simple fact is, they always go to the kids in high school.
Yep.
We'll pay for your school. We'll pay for this. We'll pay for college. We'll pay for this. But they don't tell them what's going to happen, the aftermath. Nobody wants to talk about that. And the government, with how they mistreat the vets and how the vet hospitals is not taking care, there's a lot of stuff that the military don't do for our people. And so, yeah,
So
I like that idea.
what my wife just said is that a lot of recruiters they focus on inner city, inner city kids because
Yep.
they're easier to break because they come from, some of them come from broken homes and stuff like that. And
They're easy to bribe, saying, "Hey, you want to go to school? Hey, we'll pay for your college. Just come and sign up." But they
And they
right.
don't
looking
tell
to
you
get
the
away.
bottom line. You don't read the fine print, and you don't get to talk to somebody our kind to find out exactly what happens after the fact.
Yeah.
That's Narvell Jr. That's the kid with the golden shovel. He's about to be 16 now. So that picture that you see
Woo,
on the
teenage
cover,
years.
he was like eight,
The
7 or
one
8.
with the blue shovel.
That's
Yeah,
a
the kid with the
beautiful
golden shovel.
thing.
For sure. So as far as I go, so I pretty much I come from a very civic minded family. And so my grandmother, my uncle, everybody's been entrenched in the community for like ever. So I don't have any choice but to be who I am. So, for me, um, from the time I've been like 8, 9, 10 years old, my grandmother has had me like at the train stations with voter registration cards, making sure we were getting people registered to vote, and just making that part of things happen within our community, local elections, things like that. So, but my passion is the youth, right? So, and I feel like my most valuable to the population of youth who are what they like to call at risk,
Okay.
out of school, out of work, between the ages of like 17 to 25. I feel that I really connect with them, well. They listen to me. Even if they don't do what I think they should do or what I suggest, they always come back around. They always texting me. They're always calling me, just to kind of figure out what's their next step sometimes, so that's what I love to do. I make sure that any form of information I have that can, help them start to get ahead of their counterparts, right? I make sure that they get that information. One of my biggest things is alternatives to traditional education and success.
Okay.
So the idea is that we came from a culture where, like we said, me and Narvell met in college, right? So we come from a culture where it was like you go graduate from 8th grade, you go to high school, you finish high school, you go to college, and then you're gonna get this great job. Personally, for me, right, it didn't really go in that order and work out that way, right?
Me either.
It didn't work out that way.
Look, sometimes it do.
Me either.
Which is fine, right? So the only problem is you collect a lot of debt along the way, right?
Yes.
And so what happens is that's how, a lot of our folks become financially strapped and behind the 8 ball because you're coming out of college where you're supposed to be doing a great thing, but you can't go do anything that's supposed to be good, especially now in a market that doesn't really value a bachelor's degree anymore.
Yep.
So
Right.
from my perspective, what I've done when I've worked with these young people is I start to provide alternatives. What are the training programs and vocational programs that are going to put you in line, right, to be just as competitive as the next person, but without the debt, right? So, you know, we want to teach we teach you hard skills, soft skills, financial literacy. You know, we pull credit reports, we did all that stuff. And that was, you know, my objective is to try and just let them know, okay, this guy might have went and got an education somewhere, but he really paid for everything else. We could just narrow it down to the stuff that's necessary for this job to be competitive in this economy. And that's what we're going to put you in a program. You're going to go there. You're going to learn the important stuff that he knows. And you ain't going to get the college experience, but you're going to get the experience you need to be successful. So we try to, you know, we try to set them kids up like that and make sure that they have some alternatives to what's being probably, well, in many cases, probably not being pushed on them. You know, they come from homes where maybe their parents didn't graduate college or high school, whatever. So, you know, I'm that motivating figure that is trying to get them to accomplish those things and see that those things are possible in themselves.
I love it because you want to know why? We didn't have that growing up. They gave
No.
us what, half a semester of economics, but they don't
Yeah.
teach you that your credit needs to be top notch. They don't teach you about that. They don't teach
Correct.
you on a lot of things. And that's great that you're doing that for these inner city kids because, you know, it's sad to say, but they look down on us.
Absolutely.
If you don't pay that extra money to live in a better environment, a better neighborhood, they will look down. Or if you don't have that village to help train, teach you, and guide you, and these kids are lacking a village these days. So
Yeah.
with the little village that they do have, it's great that they know they could come back to you and seek guidance. You know, I try to be that village. You guys try to be that village. We try to be that village because we had that. But for these poor kids that don't have it, they need a village.
That's right.
So I commend you, and I appreciate what you're doing for the inner city kids because that's a big thing, and that is necessary because these kids are falling by the wayside, and now they can't even go into school. So how is their home life now? You know what I mean? Like sometimes kids go to school to be safe than being home.
To be safe, to eat. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
to just be in an environment that's not destructive for, you know, a few hours, you know?
Exactly.
My college or my high school was Seneca Vocational High School, and we had electrical technology, computer like everything that's paying good money right now. You know,
Exactly.
that was in our high school, and they cut that out. They don't have it no more. They don't have it. They don't have it.
So much that we used to have, they don't even have. It's ridiculous. And on top of that, like I teach my boys here, you're gonna learn how to do laundry, you're gonna learn how to clean, you're gonna learn how to finance your money, you're gonna learn all this here. Because I don't know what they're teaching you in school, but I know mama is gonna make sure you being taught right.
Right.
I know your father's gonna make sure you're being taught right because no. And I don't want them to have a student loan or we're gonna pay for that. You ain't got to worry about it. If you want to go to school, go to high school. After high school, go to college. Okay. You want to do acting? Okay. There's funds set up aside for it. You know what I mean? But no, I don't want them having debt.
Yeah, they'll be in debt for the rest of their life.
Exactly.
You
There's
know
that. What is that? I have a fund account for my youngest, Miles, because he's the sports child, but it's something
What do they call it? A 509?
509, yes.
509, yeah.
So I have that for him. Jalen already wants to do singing and acting and all that. So that's not going to pay for that type of college. So he's already, when he's ready, I already told him all he got to do is just go and get them good grades. Simple fact. But yeah, a lot of kids get in debt, like you said, and then it's like they're trying to survive above water.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Like Blaine was saying, you know, like they with the jobs and stuff, they pushing you to have a master's degree or, you know, a PhD or whatever it is. But bachelor's is you pretty much non-existent.
Right?
you know, and plus if you get a bachelor's, they end up paying you what not even nothing to survive off of to cover that debt, you know?
Unless you live in like Montana or something like that, you know what I mean? That's about it.
Right.
And here's another thing. If we're doing great in college, we're doing A's and B's, making the dean's list, why do we have to pay for college? We're United States. We're supposed to be the richest of, you know what I mean? If you're reaching a certain quota, a certain GPA, why you got to pay for college? Some places overseas don't pay. As long as you reach a certain mark, you don't pay for college. You get it free as long as you keep that, you know.
We got as the United States, we got money for war, but don't help the homeless or the veterans.
Come
You
on.
know,
No,
we got,
they want to use us and abuse us and then throw us to the side.
Yep. Yep. That's, I mean, it's clear as day now. They got money for the things that they want to do, not to help our home,
Exactly. So where do you see yourselves going, taking OYAB this year compared to, unfortunately, the pandemic last year? What's your vision for this year? What you guys got in store?
You want to go, B, or you want me to go?
Yep. Definitely the second book. That's definitely gonna happen this year.
Okay.
It's probably gonna be the second and the third. So we're gonna be putting out some stuff, book wise, of course, merchandise, of course, and I do OYB basketball training. I'm gonna start getting into that a little bit more too, because these kids nowadays, it's almost like they have people teaching them basketball that don't know the game of basketball, but getting and they're paying for it. And those kids are some of the kids that be like, they're quitters. You know what I mean? They want to transfer to this school. They don't want to tough it out to do this. They don't want to put the hard work in to do anything. But it's a lot of frauds out there. And Blaine, the stuff that we learned in college, from Coach Curl.
Yeah.
To me, learning things like, NBA caliber drills and stuff like that is what we learned in college. And you teaching these kids, from my perspective, I'm teaching these kids those drills that's going to help them excel by playing against the competition that they're in, because they're not getting that right now. They're not getting any of that right now. I know I went off in a tangent, but I was just thinking along the lines of things that OYAB is doing.
What y'all doing? That's right. Yeah. Because I always check the credentials before I even sign my son up for anything. Like the youngest is all sports. You see what I be posting.
Yeah, I see it.
And we have a UB women's coach. Her son is in college and he's being scouted for NBA. And over the summer, he was taking kids and all you did was pay him $10 and he would teach them some of the fundamentals as well. We always make sure that he knows the fundamentals. And when he's not training, we're home training with him. We have the baseball court in the driveway. Well, on top of that, I'm like, all right, I need you to start working with your left hand. I need you to be a sleeper. Let them not know that you could switch it up on be ambidextrous. You can't write ambidextrous, but you could play with okay? So we're going to work that. Let's work that left hand. I said, put that right hand behind you and work that left hand. I don't want to see you mess with your right. You already know how to work with your right. Let's work with the left. Be a sleeper. I was like, Muggsy. I was naming basketball players from back in the day when Jordan was playing. I was like, Jordan was the greatest of his time, but there was Muggsy. I was like, Muggsy was short. My youngest is stocky, and he was like, I haven't sprouted up anymore. I was like, you're almost reaching me. I'm 5'3", but his older brothers, one's 5'7", one's 6 feet. The 15-year-old is 6 feet. He doesn't want to do sports. I'm like, do you know how much leverage you would have on the board?
It's the same thing here. My son Narvell, the kid with the golden shovel, he taller than his mom. She's 5'5", and he's like maybe an inch shorter than me, and he's still growing. He don't want to play sports. He don't want to do nothing.
Sing and act, and I said okay, but I'm like, do you know what you can do on the court? But the little one here, he's now, and now his coaches that we go to that work with the Buffalo UB Bulls and all them and everything. He does baseball too. But
Hmm.
we make sure these are professionals who's worked with NBA players, things like that. I'm not just gonna send him anywhere. No.
Right. Right.
But he was like, Ma, they was saying the same thing you was telling me. Work with my left so you could be a sleeper. And I was like, yeah, Miles, your mother knows. Your mother knows sports. Yes. I don't like baseball, but I sit through it for him because that's one of his favorite sports.
Yeah.
But I don't like
Hey,
baseball.
baseball pay a
Baseball,
lot of money.
who you telling? I know that's right. We work on that throwing arm. Pictures. I'm like, him and his brother be fighting. I was like, don't touch his arms. Don't touch his
Yeah, hilarious.
leave his arms because they'll pull on him sometimes. I was like, don't pull on him.
That's funny.
Money. Don't don't touch that. Don't touch that. But yes. So any questions, Ron? I know I'm sorry. I'm hot up the interview.
No, we kind of went through all of them. Uh, I guess one of my last questions is this: what has the past year been like for y'all since y'all clearly promoting the Black Lives Matter movement? How has everything impacted y'all personally, and what y'all see yourselves doing going further for the advancement of our people, especially considering it's Black History Month?
Well, let me say this. I don't promote the Black Lives Matter movement. I promote Black people and them being safe, because there was a lot of craziness with that movement that didn't pertain to us for our benefit. You know,
That's the truth.
I promote us, the longevity of our people, to live right, do brilliant things and everything like that. But all the destruction that was so-called done by the Black Lives Matter, I don't promote that at all. You get what I'm saying? I promote us. You know, I love my Black people. I love all people. I love my Black people. Blaine loves his Black people. I'm quite sure y'all love Black people too. And that's how it is. But with that movement, it's just a lot of crazy stuff that went behind the scenes that I don't agree with, you know, that doesn't help us as a whole.
Sure enough doesn't, and it wasn't us that was doing half of the stuff that was
Right.
being done, and the vandalism and everything, and they tried to blame it on us, but they
Yep.
were pictures showing it wasn't us. So
Right.
I hear you 100%.
I
I'm
mean,
behind justice. I'm not behind the movement or anything because I've always been for
mhm.
voicing and what's right, what's wrong is wrong. Everybody needs to be held accountable the same exact way you do for us, you should do for the others.
Right.
There's two different judicial systems we have. There's
Very
the
true.
white privilege judicial system, then there's our judicial system where one gets probation and one gets jail time doing the same exact thing. Or how
Yep.
about this? They don't get no bail and they can walk free.
Yep.
So for me, so
Uh-huh.
Narvell's a little bit more liberal. I'm a little bit more radical, right? So,
This is
but
Louis.
you know what I mean? I get fired up a little bit more. You know what I mean? But nah, honestly, obviously, I definitely agree on the take as well. It's like, um, I'm for our folks advancing, you know, and whatever is gonna be my part or my role in that, whether it's the young people I'm working with, whether it's something we doing through OYAB, excuse me, whether I don't know. Whatever it is, whatever my role is destined to be, and once I clearly identify it, and that's what it is. You know, that's what it is. But I know it's gonna be in straight support of what we believe as OYAB and what I believe as Blaine Arthur. You know what I mean? So that's what it's gonna be. That's where I am, and I'm comfortable in that space. You know, staying on that side of the line that I want to stand on.
Feel you.
Yep. So hold on, and I feel like we're about to close in a second, but I got two things.
Yeah,
Two
go ahead.
things. No, really quickly. One, if you look in the chat, I sent both of the links to both of the soundtracks.
Yeah, I saw.
You saw him? Okay. And two, Sunshine, you said something. I think you were incorrect. You said Michael Jordan was one of the greats of his time, all time.
True, all time.
All
I do. I'm with you.
I
I'm
don't
with
got time. I don't got time to debunk that statement and
Yeah.
concentrate on the GOAT. I wish we could do it on our sports show, but
Hey, we could bring him
ain't
on.
all
We're
that.
gonna do the Super Bowl haymaker Sunday.
I'll even say, Kareem.
I knew that's what was coming up next. I knew that's what was coming up next.
But you know what though? You know what?
All time.
You know what though? Like who determines who's the greatest? Like if you really think about it, people determine Michael Jordan to be the greatest because he got 6 rings, but it's deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan changed the whole concept of basketball. He
produced somebody like Kobe Bryant.
He changed the concept of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be like Mike. He had the whole world wanting to be like Mike.
I did.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know. And remember, he got cut when he first tried out for basketball.
Right.
Who knew? Jordan got cut, and then look at him. He became a beast on the court.
Man.
And then that just paved the way. I know there was more before him, but to really change the game, that was Jordan.
Yeah, he did.
I'm sorry. I agree. Jordan changed the game, and then that opened it up for LeBron and Kobe. I couldn't stand Kobe's arrogant self, but on the court, he was a beast.
Jordan was arrogant too. That's what a lot of people don't know.
I couldn't stand him off the court. Off the court, I didn't like Jordan. On the court, I love Jordan.
I might have to agree with that. I still don't like him off the court. So.
I don't. I'm serious.
But you know what though? Jordan, like Gary Payton was my favorite player coming up.
I love Gary Payton.
Yo, Gary Payton was my man, and let me say this too. Yeah, and I like in basketball wise, I used to watch him and be like, man, yo, he played lockdown defense. He played the passing lanes. He got that aggressive. I'm coming to take it from you. You know, even the school we went to at the time, it was called Takeo Post University, and at the time it was owned half by the Japanese. At the time we went, so we had a lot of international students. It was an international school. We had a lot of international students, and we're still friends with them to this day. So I had a pair of custom Gary Payton glove shoes that was designed by one of my Japanese friends. He painted it for me, and I ended up being able to play in it. We had a Reebok contract at the time, but I ended up playing in Nike in the Nikes that he designed. You know, so even though we had a Reebok contract, but I just wanted to say that because, you know, growing up in the neighborhood that I grew up in, you know, I went to a school in a white neighborhood. Just like a lot of the urban kids in my neighborhood went to the school where I went to on South Park. It was School 67, Red Jacket Academy. Then from there, South Park, and then after that, I went to Seneca. But it was in a white neighborhood, so we being around at that time, being around white people, we wasn't really around them unless it was school. But we was all cool with them at school. But we get to college, it's a whole different ball game. So you got, man, we Japanese, Bosnian, Russian, Honduras, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rican, African. If I'm missing some, Blaine, let me know. That was the people that we had in our school that we became friends with, that we still cool with now. Yeah. And another part of that too, it made me, like, now thinking on it,
Ireland.
It's like,
that was a good one. Ireland.
Oh, Ireland. My bad. Our teammates was from Ireland. You know, and it was just being around. We was cohesive. You know, everybody got along with each other. You know, and it was a cool thing being around all those cultures. You know, and we appreciate that from the college standpoint, and being able to see that with our own eyes, and being able to not have the media dictate how we should feel based off of who a person looks like.
Oh yeah, I keep in touch with people I meet overseas when I travel and everything. I have friends now that I met in Barbados when I celebrated my 40th birthday in Barbados. They were from England. I still talk to them. They told me when I make my plans to go over there, because this year I was supposed to go to Italy and England, and I don't know about that one yet. You know, I'm still praying on that one.
Yeah.
But they was like, let me know when you come over. I'll show you around England. That's what's up. You know what I mean? When you meet and connect with people and you still talk to them, thank goodness for Facebook, because we talk.
Right.
You know, how's England right now with the virus? What y'all up to? Da 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 da. You know, so it is good to have those different connections because once you vibe with somebody and they see you and you see them and you look and compares color lines and all that, it's just like you. We put on the same shirt the same way, one sleeve at a time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But I love it. I love it. So before we end this, you want to leave the viewers with anything? Your clients, soon to be new clients. What y'all want to leave your viewers?
Well, everybody, go follow, at I am OYAB on Instagram. The IamOYAB.com, of course. We got the obviously Young and Brilliant Facebook page as well. And, I post just about every day or every other day on there, just being life moments, and things I post that sometimes uplifting and things to post to just show that you loving life and living life, and the people that's out there listening, just go follow. We got a lot of organic people, not viewers, but more organic followers that was actually real followers, and not as opposed to a person paying somebody else to get them 50, 60,000 followers. We have real people that's following us, people that interact. So go follow OYAB, and I definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in.
1,000%.
All
I
right.
appreciate y'all having us too. Real talk.
Oh, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it as well. We celebrate you. That's the most of the thing. We celebrate our kings and queens, what we're doing out here in the industry, what we're doing out here in the streets. Not many is doing it. So we gotta leave a path. It's like, when we die, who's gonna pick up the torch?
You're right.
You're right.
You know? So this is your girl Sunshine saying thank you for tuning in. Like and share, like and share, like and share. Subscribe to our website. We'll be coming soon, but subscribe to our YouTube page. Subscribe to us on IG, Facebook, Twitter. We everywhere. And your girl Sunshine's on IG. Ron Lowe's on IG. We all on IG. So, and Facebook. So, from our home to yours, have a great night. Thank you for tuning in. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Peace.
Peace.